Hello, Naru Visakhapatnam. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Myself, Ankush Thanuka, a CA final student, having been done my industrial training in Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited. Today, I'm going to speak on the topic how AI and blockchain has revolutionized the business and finance. First, understand what is blockchain. Let's break it down. Blockchain. Prima facie, what you can understand is the blocks that are chained, right? So there are few more technicalities attached to it. For example, hash and then the previous hash. So now blockchain, for example, A wants to send money to B. So how he will do is he will send the information in a block. For example, one block is like a box. He so puts the information and that goes to the transaction. Now each transaction is stored in the block. That there are crores of blocks. Now each block has a password attached to it. It's more like encrypted and it has the password of the previous one. So in that way it goes to the server. Now there are various system servers attached to it which has to validate such transaction. If majority of them say yes, then the transaction gets validated and it is passed on. So for example, majority say no, so the transaction would be fake. Now this brings the very important aspect wherein if someone tries to alter the data, they cannot do so, because if he has altered the data, in first he has to change the password of the block. Now which is very difficult, because if he changes the password of the current block, he has to change the password of the previous block. In order to be able to do that, there are crores of blocks. Now he has to change the password all the back blocks, which again he cannot do. It's very difficult because very time consuming. So that is how secure blockchain is. Let's understand what is the impact of blockchain on the financial market. Traditionally, if you want to enter into a foreign transaction, how it would happen is you have to visit the nearby bank wherein give the domestic currency, say Indian rupee, and get the dollars, and then you can do the transaction. If it's a country to country transaction, they would use a Swift software wherein you would deposit rupee and they would send the currency in the Swift software. However, there was a high commission and a lot of technicalities have a lot of financial frauds have been occurred. Now, how blockchain can be the game changer in it is by way of which, for example, if you want to send, if you want to do a transaction, directly you can do using the blockchain, wherein you can change just by use of fingertips. You can give a command, and the such transaction would be done, wherein you need not change the form of the transaction. For example, gold to gold transfer, when gold could not be changed, the same way this would happen, and this will revolutionize, because the need of intermediary goes away here. Understand basic differences between the traditional marketplace and the blockchain marketplace. In traditional marketplace, it was more personal information was required, where in a blockchain based, then personal information is not required. Second, the traditional one involved the brokerage of charges, wherein in the blockchain one it does not. Blockchain works on more governance, less government involvement. When in traditional marketplace, you would have seen the involvement of government, and wherein you can see the corruption and other things under table transactions being carried out. Blockchain would disrupt the capital market. For example, let's break it phrase by phrase. First being for the issues of the company. Now this would involve issuance or an IPO could be done in few seconds, wherein now the for example the process could take as much as 30 to 45 days. So that is where the company is saving upon, and it can transfer the information within fraction of seconds using the blockchain technology. Secondly, for fund managers, how would blockchain be beneficial for fund managers? Storage of lot of accounting data and regular tracking of the markets could be done through blockchain. So that will reduce the cost for the fund managers. Now let's come for the customers. The customers always, how it will be beneficial is the non-involvement of intermediaries like SEBI, in the sense SEBI in the transactional part, or the brokerage company would have limited essence for themselves, wherein the customer will save a huge cost on the transactions which have been taken by way of brokerage. Second, more transparency, because the limited use of bureaucracy, wherein it brings in the opportunity for the customers to directly understand, which is less human forward, and understand how which Indian companies are currently using blockchain technologies. We have Bajaj Finserv, then Bajaj Electricals, Tech Mahindra, and Apollo. Few examples which I would like to quote in different sectors. Bajaj Finserv is using blockchain technology in travel insurance, personal insurance, and other information through storage of customer data using the blockchain, which is highly secured. And Bajaj Electricals, now they are using for Internet of Things, for payment of suppliers. They've started using the blockchain technology, wherein the Bajaj Electricals have developed a inbound software, right? Next is Tech Mahindra, which has an a stablecoin as a service technology, wherein they can develop industry leading applications using the blockchain. And at last, we have Apollo Hospitals. Back in 2018, they decided to start implement the use of blockchain with partnership with Niti Aayog and other fintech startups, wherein they wanted to create a drug supply chain, which would revolutionize the hospital industry, and they were successful in doing so. Let's move forward now. How the blockchain technology can be used in few specific sectors. Now it is a very small ball game when it comes to today, but in future it is very, it has a huge horizon, wherein it can be prima facie. Let's discuss few cases in few industries where it can be game changer. Healthcare nowadays, for example, you have to visit a doctor, you have to take all the physical prescriptions and all those stuff, and if you forget to do so, a lot of technicalities involved, lack of knowledge, medical knowledge, in order to interpret a lot of things. So once blockchain is interpreted, all what the doctor gives in the prescription, all the medical records can directly be stored like an Aadhaar card data. Every data would go to the blockchain technology of that current person, and thereafter, whenever he goes to any hospital across country, wherever, now using that technology, just by few clicks, you can completely understand the medical background of the person. Second, AI, chatbots, ChatGPT. Obviously, I'm sure many of you would be using ChatGPT. It has been game changer. ChatGPT can be so useful. ChatGPT with given clicks, can you make a PPT for your office work? Can help you in studies. Can help you write content on LinkedIn, and many things, and many more industries. Now I would like to attach few difficulties or the few demerits which this AI system or blockchain has. The number one is deepfake. You would have seen many videos now itself coming, wherein I just need your picture, and I can create a fake video wherein you can be speaking what I want you to speak. This can be very detrimental. So now it is a very initial stage, but with the advent of AI and we enter into this, is going to be a measure, demerit. So the AI, it would be very challenging task to bring in ethical requirements. Ethical considerations in AI. In the current world, for example, ethics, few things which are not ethically right, which may sound correct. So it would be a very challenge for us to come over this disadvantage. Then we would have privacy and safety concerns. Now, once blockchain is there, and where you cannot change the data, alter the data, if some private information is gone, and certain set of players like the private blockchain networks, if it goes in, it can be very detrimental. So now by this we can understand every technology has a merit and a demerit, and of how we use it. So this blockchain and AI is a very interesting topic, and I am waiting to see you on 18th and 19th of August in the national conference. Let's see you there. Thank you so much.